Hello and welcome to the Thermo Fisher Scientific Lab Talk series. My name is Wilfredo Marin, Senior Product Applications Specialist on our equipment team, and I'm excited to help kick off this special edition four-part series where we're bringing the experts to you, our customers, and helping master cold storage. Over the next month, we'll share product insights and discuss topics that come up every day in the lab. For each webinar, we'll keep the same short format followed by a live Q&A. They may be a bit longer than the YouTube videos currently available, but shorter than the full capacity workflow presentations throughout the year. There'll also be an opportunity to share some resources, and I highly encourage everyone to explore the Discovery Expo, where you can complete your passport to science and qualify to receive a set of building blocks. So let's get started with our first talk, Sustainable Cold Storage Innovations, a Greener Future. It's been one of the most important topics and issues voiced by our users, scientists, and researchers. So we're happy to share the latest information to help you keep thinking green. I'm joined today by Chase Heibel, a Senior Product Manager for the ultra-low temperature freezers and champion for the sustainability efforts being implemented into the newest ULT design. And after this presentation, please stay on for the live Q&A.
All right, thank you very much, Will, and thank you everyone for attending, taking the time out of your day. I am Chase Heibel, as Will mentioned, Senior Product Manager of our ultra-low freezers. At Thermo Fisher, our mission to enable customers to make the world healthier, cleaner, safer drives our commitment to environmental sustainability. We recognize that, like you, organizations have sustainability programs helping them reduce waste and resource consumption, and guiding them to develop a more holistic view of their business and how they impact their customers, their communities, and the environment. We're not only invested in advancing our own sustainability, we're committed to partnering with customers like you to help you meet your own sustainability goals through greener products and services. First, what environmental challenges do we face in achieving and supporting more sustainable science? As we all know, the science of global climate and environmental crisis is clear and has become a defining issue of our time. From climate change to ocean plastics, deforestation, loss of biodiversity, and the effects of waste on the environment and health. And in our market specifically, our customers are on the front lines in both developing solutions and expecting accountability from their suppliers and partners in the science community. Labs have a big part to play. Labs are very resource-intensive places. Even with all the improvements in efficiency, recyclability, water management, and other environmental controls, labs use 10 times more energy than office spaces, 4 times more water than office spaces, and generate 5.5 million metric tons of plastic waste each year, and it is growing. Total carbon impact of the industry has continued to increase annually from 3.9% in 2021 to 5% in 2022. This information was compiled by our friends at My Green Lab in their 2023 The Carbon Impact of Biotech and Pharma report. And that is just energy, water, and plastic waste. Emissions, both from the labs and suppliers like Thermo Fisher, play a large role as well. Scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions refer to different categories of greenhouse gas emissions, categorized based on their source and control. Scope 1, these are direct emissions that come from sources owned or controlled by an organization, such as emissions from burning fossil fuels on site, like in company-owned vehicles, or from company-owned facilities. Scope 2, these are indirect emissions resulting from the generation of electricity, heat, or steam purchased by the organization. They occur from activities outside of an organization's direct control, but are still associated with its operations, such as emissions from purchased electricity. These are indirect emissions that occur as a result of organizations' activities, or Scope 3, but from sources not owned or controlled by the organization itself. This category includes emissions from the entire value chain, including purchased goods and services, employee commuting, business travel, and the use of products sold by the organization. At Thermo Fisher, our approach to environmental sustainability is always grounded in science. with a focus on our customers. We have 3 areas of focus. First, climate. As the world leader in serving science, we are committed to achieving our goals to reduce emissions. Second, nature. Our role in protecting nature. That's why we are committed to preserving freshwater resources and managing waste. And third, designing for sustainability, investing in innovation to not only design and develop the highest performing products, but also minimize the environmental impact of our products and packaging wherever possible. And we do all of this in collaboration with our stakeholders, including customers, suppliers, colleagues, and industry associates, all while providing transparency and a public understanding of our environmental impact and progress towards our goals. We have our own targets for reducing these impacts because the world's leading scientists have sent a clear message that urgent action is needed to avoid the worst impact of climate change. This means limiting global temperature increase to 1.5 C, above pre-industrial levels, the most ambitious aim of the Paris Agreement. Scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions reduction is a major part of that goal. To demonstrate Thermo Fisher's commitment, we have established 3 targets. We call this our 50-90-0 strategy. 50% reduction in our Scope 1 and 2 emissions, where Scope 1 is the fossil fuels used in our facilities and vehicles, and Scope 2 is the electricity consumed by our facilities and vehicles. Having 90% of our suppliers by spend set science-based targets. With this target, we are holding our suppliers to the same level of ambition we are setting for ourselves. And 0 is our net zero by 2050 commitment. We follow the consensus definition of net zero, meaning to reduce emissions across the full value chain, from the raw materials we buy to the use of our products by at least 90%. Plus, we recognize our goal in protecting the world's natural resources. That's why we're committed to preserving freshwater resources and managing waste. By this year, we will have assessed water usage for water-intensive manufacturing facilities in water-scarce areas. And by 2025, we will have 30 manufacturing and warehouse sites be zero waste certified. Thermo Fisher Scientific's climate targets are undergoing validation by the Science Based Targets Initiative, commonly referred to as SBTI, an organization that establishes the standards, guidance, and tools to drive ambitious climate action in the private sector. Target validation demonstrates to our customers, investors, and colleagues that our commitments are aligned with the Paris Agreement and its aims towards the 1.5 C pathway. And we must do all of this with transparency. We aim to foster public understanding of our environmental impact, make credible progress towards our goals, and explain how climate change impacts our business. These disclosures and insights are of high importance to all of our stakeholders. Since 2010, we have participated in the CDP disclosure program. Last year, we prepared our first task force on climate-related financial disclosures, TCFD, report. We are continuously working to enhance our climate disclosures with transparency through our annual corporate social responsibility and financial reports. We hope this encourages other suppliers in the industry to do the same. Now let's get into the details of designing for sustainability that all manufacturers should undertake. From design through the end of life for our products, we are applying design for sustainability thinking to our product development processes. We also understand that the biggest opportunity to reduce a product's environmental impact arises early in the design process. Our framework for design for sustainability includes considerations in 5 impact areas: less hazardous, less waste, more energy efficient, responsibly packaged, and extended life. We also look to how we design our products in ways that reduce health and environmental impacts across a product's life cycle. This means sourcing better materials, implementing alternative ways to make and ship our products, and seeking partnerships with suppliers and customers to advance sustainability beyond our own doors. Finally, at the end of a product's useful life, we look at how we can take back, refurbish, and recycle products and packaging. We strive to deliver products that can help customers minimize their environmental footprint and advance their sustainability goals. The resulting greener by design products can easily be identified on our websites with the green leaf icon. And across Thermo Fisher Scientific, we have launched products and services that follow this design for sustainability philosophy. This is a short list of examples from each of those 5 impact areas. For less hazardous, we have our Platinum Direct PCR Universal Master Mix, which eliminates the need for ethanol and other hazardous compounds and solutions. Less waste, we have our Dynaspin single-use centrifuges that sustainably reduce filter, liquid, and chemical waste. Our TSX Universal Ultra-Low Temperature Freezers, which we'll talk more about shortly, is more energy efficient, not only meeting the current Energy Star levels, but also will meet the new versions of the standards going into effect in 2025. Our Gibco bench-stable cell culture media is responsibly packaged with readily recyclable packaging and can be stored at ambient temperatures. And lastly, for extended life, we have our iBlot 2 dry blotting system that has a mail-back program to recycle, transfer, stack copper. There are many other products than this, what is shown here, and there are products like one we will discuss shortly that hit multiple of these environmental impact factors. Beyond our Greener Products program, we also partner with nonprofit My Green Lab for the environmental impact factor label called ACT, which stands for Accountability, Consistency, and Transparency. By providing the eco-nutrition label for Thermo Fisher laboratory products, we are providing valuable, easy to compare information to help customers make more informed decisions about the overall environmental impact of the products they're considering purchasing. It also helps drive continuous improvement for suppliers like us to seek renewable options and reduce waste at our facilities. We currently have over 350 products registered, and the list continues to grow. You can see here that the label is broken up into a few general areas: manufacturing, user impact, end of life, and innovation. Those are all combined to generate an overall environmental impact. That number itself isn't necessarily a gauge of how green a product is, but should be used as a comparison guide when looking at a similar product. For example, comparing an HPLC score to a ULT score won't necessarily tell you if that particular HPLC has a low relative score or not. Beyond that, as an organization, Thermo Fisher has also partnered with My Green Labs and supports more sustainable lab practices at our own facilities. We have a lot of labs ourselves globally. 25 of them, involving more than 50 lab colleagues, have participated in the My Green Lab certification program, which is recognized by the United Nations Race to Zero campaign. It is a key measure of progress towards a zero carbon future and is a gold standard for lab sustainability best practices around the world. We have labs that range from bronze with 40 or more % green lab assessment actions implemented to green, where 80% are implemented. I suggest you look into this for your own lab. So, what do we call products that are designed for sustainability? When we take one or more of those impact factors, less hazardous, less waste, more energy efficient, package responsibility, and extended life, we create a greener by design product. You can see in the lead up to this that we have been very thoughtful in our approach to the criteria and impact of a greener by design product. This is to reduce greenwashing in the industry. We see more and more suppliers claiming their products are green when they just meet the regulatory requirements that exist. It isn't enough to just meet the requirements, and that is why we set these aggressive goals and do so with transparency. Let's talk about a product that brings all 5 of these environmental impacts to the table. The Thermo Scientific TSX Universal Ultra-Low Temperature Freezer was designed with the environment in mind. Typically, when we hear freezers and green, we think low energy and maybe refrigerants. TSX Universal delivers much more than that. less hazardous, refrigerants and insulation with low global warming potential and zero ozone depleting potential, less waste, made with recycled content, stainless steel and aluminum, more energy efficient, Energy Star certified, responsibly packaged, uses recycled content, corrugate, cardboard, and foam planks, extended life, 12-year warranty, significantly longer than comparable products, and manufactured in a zero waste facility. More than 90% of the waste generated at the site is diverted from landfill and or incineration. Backed by the ACT label. TSX Universal ULTs are the first greener by design products that meet criteria in all 5 program impact areas. It isn't enough to just be low energy anymore. Cold storage must be greener across all categories. Let's dive into each factor and explain why they are important. First, we have less hazardous. F-gas regulations, as well as other regulatory bodies, have set a limit on GWP for refrigerants and insulations. Ultra-low temperature freezers are exempt from many of these. For F-gas, this will change to a limit of 150 GWP for refrigerants in refrigerated units by 2030. What this means is a lot of suppliers are still using refrigerants that have extremely high global warming index potential. A popular redundant cooling unit in the market uses refrigerants with levels at over 6,000 GWP. Our value is 3. We've been using refrigerants well below that 150 limit in TSX since 2015. We don't stop at being compliant. We choose refrigerants that help us have very low environmental impact. TSX Universal Series ULT freezers also generate less waste and are made in zero waste to landfill manufacturing. They contain steel and aluminum with recycled content, up to 70% per unit. And that steel is locally sourced, which reduces its emission impact further. These are large steel boxes, so this is a big environmental impact improvement. And as I mentioned, we're committed to reducing resource consumption. So the manufacturing site that makes these ultra-low temperature freezers in Asheville, North Carolina, is a zero waste manufacturing facility. One of the most obvious ones for freezers, but one that shouldn't be underemphasized, TSX Universal is more energy efficient. All TSX Universal ULTs beat today's Energy Star criteria by a wide margin and are positioned to meet tightening requirements in 2025. Many producers today do not meet the current standards, and many products currently registered as compliant will no longer be when the new standards arrive. And how energy efficient a unit is doesn't just impact the plug. It also impacts the amount of energy the HVAC system uses, because energy consumed by the unit is transferred directly to heat load into the room. From a global scale, this means since the launch of the original TSX ultra-low temperature freezer in 2015 to now, the industry is saving near 400 to 500 gigawatt hour per year when compared to legacy ultra-low temperature freezers. That is about as much as 45 to 55,000 single-family homes. That is a staggering amount of energy reduction. Again, we don't stop at being compliant. TSX Universal is one of the most energy efficient, Energy Star certified large capacity ULTs on the market. It's also important not to just consider the unit itself, but the packaging used to protect the unit and its shipping impact. That is why we responsibly package the units by using corrugated cardboard with 43% recycled content and polyethylene foam planks with 60% post-industrial recycled content. Additionally, these materials are recyclable once on site. Beyond the packaging, regionalized production of our ultra-low freezers enables us to reduce our total CO2 emissions from shipping as well. So we've built, shipped, and used the unit. Now, how about how long the units last and what to do with them once they've exceeded their usage life? We back our TSX Universal with a 12-year compressor warranty, 2 years longer than the typical ULT freezer lifespan, and 7 years longer than the typical warranty, which equals less production, transport, and waste. In fact, That 2 additional years could mean 17% less units being produced, shipped, and disposed of yearly. That is a major decline in all of the previous environmental impacts we've already discussed. When disposal is needed, we have recycling programs to help ensure proper disposal of older units, because most of the overall freezer can be recycled and diverted from landfill. All of these factors, while not directly aligning with the My Green Labs ACT label, have a lot of commonality with it. So in the spirit of having transparency and sustainability, all TSX universal models have the ACT label. Our legacy TSX did as well, and had as much as a 20% higher environmental impact factor than TSX Universal. TSX Universal ULT ACT label scores are best in class for ultra-low freezers. We try to make it easy for our customers and partners to identify these more sustainable products through the Greener by Design program by marking them within our marketing material with a green leaf. So look for the leaf. We also proudly display the third-party labels in our material as well, whether that be Energy Star, ACT labels, or other programs. And while sustainability is of paramount importance to help combat climate change, at the end of the day, an ultra-low temperature freezer needs to perform. It must preserve samples. TSX Universal is backed by over 80 years of negative ADC innovation at Thermo Fisher Scientific to do just that. Be the pinnacle of reliability, performance, and sustainability. You shouldn't have to choose between those criteria. Our innovations in Universal V Drive have delivered 33% less energy consumption, 41% faster pull down time so users can start using their unit faster, 38% tighter control to keep product further away from unsafe temperatures, 52% faster recovery time, 15 minutes for a full 1 minute, both outer and inner doors, empty cabinet opening back to negative 75. It's a really fast recovery time, and 57% faster reentry time to allow users to re-access samples faster, and a 20% lower environmental impact. All with universal voltage, so units can be plugged in anywhere with the same performance, expanded set point range up to negative 40, whisper quiet operations at only 43 dBA, and 12-year compressor warranty, and much, much, much more. TSX Universal is the ultimate freezer solution that adapts to your lab's needs while maintaining the integrity of your precious samples. Of course, it's not just about what you buy. Partnering with Thermo Fisher on sustainability goes well beyond purchasing greener products. From supply centers to offering sustainable delivery, plastics recycling, and cold storage optimization technology, we offer customers a broad range of services designed to advance your particular sustainability goals. To learn more, visit our Greener by Design program and view our latest CSR report on thermofisher.com. Thank you for attending. Thank you for participating.